You only need to master 3 consulting frameworks to crack 80% of your case interviews. Look, if you're preparing for your consulting case interview, I know it could be very overwhelming, especially with so many frameworks existing in the case books, and it's humanly impossible to keep all of them top of mind, right? And here's the honest truth. McKinsey, BCG, Bain, they are really not looking for any frameworks per se. They just want to evaluate how you think. And frameworks are just a medium to structure your thought process. In my 10 plus years of consulting and tech, I have given as well as taken hundreds of interviews, and only these 3 frameworks can cover 80% of your cases. So focus all your energy on mastering these 3, and during the interview, give yourself 2 minutes to just introspect and think which one is going to be the best fit. If you stick around till the end of this video, you will know exactly when to use which, and also understand how to combine them like a real consultant to solve an actual client engagement. So let's get started. Framework number 1 is the profitability framework. This one is the foundation because all businesses want to make money, right? In fact, about 50% of your cases are probably going to be profitability related. Fortunately for you, it's also quite a mathematically intuitive and easy framework to master. The logic tree is very simple. Basically, it's profits equal to revenue minus costs, right? And then you can break down revenue into 3 parts. Number 1 is price, number 2 is volume, and lastly, and this is something that a lot of people miss, is the sales mix. Because obviously a company will have several products. Then if you move to the cost side, it is going to be number 1, fixed costs, 2 is variable costs, and 3 is one-time expenses. Pardon my bad handwriting. Now the secret to a top tier answer over here is to be MECE, that is mutually exclusive and collectively exhaustive, which basically means no overlaps and no gaps. If your buckets are bleeding into each other or you miss an entire category of costs, the interviewer is going to spot it immediately. So how do you know when this is the right framework to use? Listen for this kind of questions. How do we reduce costs? Why did profits drop even though sales went up? Where is the business bleeding money? And is this product line worth keeping? Anytime the case is fundamentally about margins, cost structure, or why we are not making money, that's profitability. As simple as that. Moving on, the framework for the biggest strategic move a company can make. Market entry. Should a $1 billion company enter a new country? That's a market entry question, and it's our framework number 2. This one answers the should we question, and it is not just about sizing up the market or understanding your competitors. You basically have to evaluate these 4 buckets. Number 1 is the market attractiveness. Is the market big enough? Is it growing? Is it profitable? What are competitors doing? Number 2 is company capabilities. Basically, do you have the brand power or the right product market fit? Number 3 is financial viability. What's the entry cost? What's the investment required? What is the payback period? And lastly is going to be your entry strategy. Do you build, buy, or partner? So how do you spot if it's a market entry case? Look for these questions. Should we enter this new market or country? Should we launch this new product line? Should we acquire this company or build the capability ourselves? Is this new customer segment worth going after? Anytime the case hinges on a strategic yes or no question, enter or don't, launch a product or not, build or buy, that's market entry. Now, last and probably the most powerful framework, because you can literally use this any time in an ambiguous case interview where you get stuck. You know those cases where the question is so unstructured that you don't even know where to begin. There is no real math to solve and you start getting anxiety or you start feeling nervous? Yes, this is where framework number 3 will help you. It is the business situation framework, or the 3C plus B. Useful for strategy, growth, and competitive response cases. Again, it has 4 components. First C is the customer. Who are they? What will they pay? How do you segment them? How do you acquire them? The second C is competition. Who are your competitors? How do they differentiate? What are the barriers to entry and how will they react if you enter the market? Next is P for product. What are you offering? What is making your product unique? What are the unit economics like? And lastly is the last C, which is the company. Do you have the capabilities to win? What's your competitive advantage over here? Is the organization actually ready? Cover these 4 angles and you have literally covered the whole business. So how do you know if it's a 3C plus P case? Look for questions like, how should we grow this business? A competitor just made a move, so how do we respond? What's our overall strategy moving forward? Also, anytime the case feels open-ended and there's really no clear number to solve, go for this framework. Now that you know all the frameworks, know this, that none of these frameworks are supposed to live in silos. In a real case and in real consulting work, they will always stack on top of each other. A single case can always raise a growth question, which then leads to, should we enter this market? And eventually, is the math working? Are we making profits? And just like that, it's business situation, market entry, and profitability in one conversation. So here's a quick recap. 3 key frameworks. Number 1, most common, is the profitability. Number 2 answers the should we, and this is the market entry framework. Number 3 is the business situation, or the 3C plus pre framework that you use for any kind of ambiguous cases. Lastly, a real case would often use at least 2 or more of these frameworks in conjunction. Okay, before we end, I have a cheat sheet for you, the link of which I've included in the description box, so you can pick it up from there for future reference. And secondly, in the next few videos, I am going to solve some real life cases. You don't want to miss out on them, so please subscribe.